I do just love fishing. It's so relaxing and peaceful.
It really is. The sun's shining, the water's calm, and we've got nothing else to do with our day.
Except I do feel like there was something else we were meant to be doing as well this morning. Something to do with talking to the
The
children.
children!
Of course, yes, the children. Oh, look, they're already here. Hello, everyone. Thanks again for joining us this week.
It's nice to see you all again. You've just caught us doing a bit of fishing, but I'm sure we can talk and fish at the same time. Right, Egbert?
We certainly can. But what should we talk to everyone about this week?
Well, I do have a question that I wanted to ask you, Egbert. And maybe some of the people at home would be interested in hearing the answer too.
Yes, of course. I'll certainly do my best. What is it you want to ask?
Well, do you remember how last week we learned that because Jesus died for our sins, we can be completely forgiven?
Ah, yes, I do remember that. That's the wonderful news of Easter.
Well, I was just wondering, how many times is God willing to forgive us? Because I've been trying hard this week to be kinder to my sister and things like that, but I haven't been perfect. In fact, I've said and done a lot more wrong things since last Sunday. So I was wondering, does God ever get tired of forgiving us?
That's a really good question, Ben. And I think the best way to find the answer is for us all to listen to today's Bible story. It's called The Friend Who Forgives. And it's all about a man called Peter and how many times Jesus was willing to forgive him. And funnily enough, it involves quite a lot of fishing.
That sounds perfect. We can watch it together while we fish.
The Friend Who Forgives by Dan DeWitt. A true story about how Peter failed and Jesus forgave. A long time ago, there was a man named Peter who was best friends with Jesus. Peter was a fisherman. He was strong and brave, but he often said the wrong thing. Do you ever talk before you think? That's what Peter did. Again and again and again. Peter loved fish. In fact, one day he and Jesus had fish for breakfast. Fish for breakfast? That's weird. But we'll save that part of the story until the end. On the day when Jesus first called Peter to follow him, can you guess what Peter was doing? That's right. Peter was fishing. "Follow me, and I will make you a fisher of men," Jesus told him. Can you imagine that? Peter fishing for men. Jesus explained that just as Peter liked to search for fish, Jesus had come to search for people who needed forgiveness. Peter loved being friends with Jesus. He saw Jesus do lots of amazing things. One time, Peter's mother-in-law was sick. Jesus healed her. Another time, Peter was about to drown in a storm. Jesus saved him. Slowly, Peter realized that Jesus was more than a friend. He was God. He would never let Peter down. But sometimes Peter let Jesus down. Like the time Jesus explained to his friends that he had to die on the cross, but that he would come back to life to offer forgiveness. All of you will run away. You're going to say you're not my friends, Jesus said. Peter spoke up right away. He did that a lot. "I will never do that," Peter said. But Jesus told him, "Before the rooster crows in the morning, you will say 3 times that you're not my friend." I would never do that. Jesus is my best friend, Peter thought. When soldiers came to take Jesus to the cross, Peter pulled out his sword to stop them. "Put your sword away, Peter," Jesus said. "My Father says this must happen." Jesus let the soldiers take him to a courtyard to stand trial. Peter followed from far away. "Aren't you one of Jesus' friends?" a young girl asked as she opened a gate for Peter to enter the courtyard. What do you think Peter said? "No, I don't know Jesus." It was a cold night, so Peter walked over to a fire where some people were warming themselves. "Aren't you one of Jesus' friends?" someone asked Peter. What do you think Peter said? "No, I don't know Jesus." Then someone else stepped forward and looked closely at Peter. "Yes, you are one of Jesus' friends, aren't you?" he said. What do you think Peter said? "No, I don't know Jesus." Right then, at that very moment, a rooster crowed. Jesus turned around and looked straight at Peter. Then Peter remembered that Jesus had said, "Before the rooster crows, you will say 3 times that you are not my friend." Peter was so sad. He knew he had failed Jesus again and again and again. He didn't just need to find other people who needed forgiving. He needed forgiving too. Peter felt terrible. He ran out of the courtyard and he cried and cried and cried. Peter had let his best friend down, and now it was too late because the soldiers had taken Jesus away to be killed. But Peter didn't stay sad because Jesus didn't stay dead. 3 days later was the first Easter Sunday when Jesus came back to life to offer people forgiveness. But would he forgive Peter for failing so badly? One day Jesus went looking for Peter. Where do you think Jesus found him? That's right. Peter and his friends were fishing. Jesus called to them from the beach. Peter jumped out of the boat into the water and rushed to the beach to see Jesus. And this is where Jesus and Peter had fish for breakfast. Fish for breakfast? That's weird. Peter was so happy to see Jesus alive, but would Jesus forgive him? Peter wasn't sure. Maybe Jesus wouldn't want to talk to him. Maybe Jesus wouldn't want to be friends with him. But yes, Jesus did want to talk to Peter. And yes, Jesus did want to forgive Peter. Wow! And since Peter had said he didn't know Jesus 3 times, Jesus gave Peter the chance to say 3 times, "I love you, Jesus." That's how Peter became a forgiven fisher of men. Peter spent the rest of his life telling people about his best friend Jesus. He told them that if they put their trust in Jesus, he would forgive them again and again and again. And if you trust in Jesus, he will forgive you too, again and again and again.
Oh wow, so if we trust in Jesus, he'll forgive us again and again and again, no matter how many times we fail.
That's right, again and again and again and again. He never gets tired of forgiving us.
And Peter liked fishing too, just like us.
Oh yes, he did. But after he met Jesus, he became a fisher of men. There was nothing more he loved than to tell other people about Jesus and how they could be forgiven too, again and again and again and again and again.
That is definitely good news worth sharing.
It really is. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.